This week on the Virtual Skeptics, Bob would make a terrible president. Steve has the poop on goop. Barb is totally tapped out. He's out. And I'm your host, Brian Gregory. And man, the technical problems this time. Wow. We have lots to blame on Yahoo this episode. Lots to blame. I'm not going to introduce Bob on principle. That and the fact that he's not here yet. Anyway, this is Virtual Skeptics. Thanks for tuning in. Let me introduce the crew right off the bat. We've got these people right here. This is Eve Siebert, editor, and blogger at Skeptical Humanities and contributor to Skepticality at Insight at skeptic.com, and Barbara Drescher, former psychology instructor, blogger at ICBS Everywhere, and contributor to skeptical projects such as Insight at skeptic.com and the Odds Are So Crazy. Oh my God. Technical problems with my vocal cords.
Can't blame Yahoo for that.
Yes.
Or
well, I can. I can.
You can, but you won't.
No, I will. Of course I will. They can't do anything to us. We're on Google. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is the thing we do. And I'm back. Look, it's been like forever. I think it's been like a year. Has it been a year? And I feel good. I feel like I can do this again. Wow. Anyway, if you're watching,
tousled hair and all.
Yeah, well, there's the bad hair day thing going on. But so if you're watching, we're gonna do some stuff and things and talk about other stuff and things. And if you feel like you have to add stuff and things, you can do that a few different ways. First way, you can do it on Twitter. You can tweet with hashtag Virtual Skeptics. Or you can use the there's this chat thing on YouTube. It's like the coolest thing. All the kids are doing it. If you type in there, and I'll see it, and I'll try to respond and make sure you feel like you are contributing. How about that? Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
excellent.
And Bob's here. Okay, so this guy right here. See the blank look and the expression.
He's very nearly almost here.
Almost here. That's Bob.
It's Bob's surrogate.
Anyway.
Hey, we can actually see his face.
Hey, look at that.
That's because the lower third isn't working.
Bob. So this guy is Bob Blaskowitz, and I'm just going to do this now because, things and stuff. CSI's conspiracy guy, web columnist, blogger for Skeptical Humanities, and Skepticality contributor, and avid hat wearer. Avid hat wearer. What's your button say on your hat?
My button? It's a little piece thing.
Oh, looks like a ladybug. Anyway, so I mentioned the Twitter thing. I mentioned the YouTube thing. I mentioned the people thing. Movie thing. Oh yeah, if you guess what's on the screen behind me, we'll give you a fabulous prize of some kind. That's probably virtual, just like we are. So since Bob is here, I'm just going to drop right in because Bob's got this thing. He's going to talk about.
Am I first?
Yeah, I think you're starting your campaign today. Is that what it is?
Oh
you're
gonna. God. All right, now. Well, I don't know. I think that this one was very easy to have an opinion about. Perhaps a little bit too easy to have an opinion about. Maybe it's a mountain out of a molehill. But so the other day, Oprah Winfrey was awarded the.
Are we really going there? We're going there.
Just for a minute. Just let's keep it quick because I
don't know how we can
sick
keep it
to death of it too. Huh? Yeah, that's true.
How we can keep it quick.
But okay, so she was awarded the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes the other day, and she gave a pretty good speech. And because she gave a passable speech, she instantly became the front runner in the Democratic National Party's presidential campaign, or at least you would think so.
It didn't start with the speech. Let's be fair. People have been talking about it for some time.
People have been talking about it for a while, and yet there seemed to be people said that this, started comparing it to a presidential speech. And in fairness to people who thought that maybe she declared, well, not declared, but was testing the waters, it did have a lot of the characteristics of a presidential speech. It starts with discussion of her humble background. It moves into a social issue. Brings a anecdote into the story. It was Cece Taylor, I believe is her name. Reese Taylor. They had lots of the elements that you might expect from a stump speech.
Including
and she really
a
was
bunch of praise.
A bunch of praise?
Yeah.
Well, they were. It struck me as a little State of the Union with all the applause.
Yeah.
But and the way that she was talking over the applause also felt kind of like she was playing a politician role, but I don't know. I think we should probably not even bother having an election and just give her the crown, right? At this point. Actually, or we should just, I don't know, have an upper threshold for how much money someone can have before they become a politician. The weird thing is that there was a lot of talk about it online, but I didn't see a lot of people actually making the case that Oprah would be a good president. Now that I think about it,
Well,
for all the
really low now, isn't it?
There's that, and that is my feeling. Is that like, well, anybody would be better. Donald Trump.
That's a shitty criteria.
It really is horrible.
It is stupid. It is a stupid criteria when there are actually people who are qualified to do the job.
To be fair, I think Oprah.
A monkey would be better, and I don't want a monkey in the office.
Well, I suggested E. coli would be better, and then I discovered that E. coli has been campaigning for some time.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think that she, has a conscience. I think she is capable of learning sometimes. But I do think that she is kind of she is in a bubble created by her own wealth that I think may skew her view of reality. And I'm not sure that she realizes what her limitations are, and that concerns me.
Well, I don't think I honestly don't know that she's entirely capable of understanding her limitations. She is a narcissist, not anywhere near as bad as Trump or many other people.
But Oprah.
She is a narcissist who has people constantly pumping her up, just like Trump does. She's probably a little more mature because she's not quite as narcissistic, but she has zero qualifications.
Yeah,
true.
It's just simply. I'm sorry. It was a great speech. I really liked the speech, except for the references to people's different truths. That really bothered me.
I can actually see that as being an empty turn of rhetoric. Really, not even empty, but because there are, I think, different perceptions of realities. It's indicative of her kind of new agey.
There are different perspectives, but I think that kind of rhetoric is very dangerous, and it bothers me. But the rest of the speech, I loved. But that doesn't make her qualified to be president. Even getting people to their feet does not qualify you to be president.
Who also got people to their feet?
Hitler?
E. coli. Okay.
Oh, E. coli. Okay.
I decided
actually, no, that actually made
got
them
people
sit down,
off
but
their
for different
feet.
reasons.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Double over,
Yes, double over.
But no. Anyway, no, I don't disagree. I don't think she has any training in it. There is the kind of, and Eve, you were talking about this earlier, it's kind of consonant with the strain of anti-intellectualism, is where you don't want people who are actually good at their jobs and experts in their jobs taking over,
and doing
in
their
area.
jobs.
Yeah, doing their jobs, right? Like, so politicians who have politicked and who've gained foreign policy or security or other sorts
Knowledge of
of
the law.
huh?
Knowledge of the law.
Acknowledge the law and the legitimacy of courts, that sort of thing.
Have read the First Amendment.
Understood it, could recite it if they had to, or maybe even get the gist.
It is a form of anti-intellectualism, but you know what I think is most disturbing about it? Yes, it is populism. What I think is, but it's funny that it's not populism. It's really not. It just has that concept. It has that air of populism, but it's not populism. She is not an everyday person.
Well, yeah,
any more than Trump is. But
or George W. Bush.
But she's someone that people know, which is which I think is what's driving
people
a
recognize,
lot of,
and that's what's driving it. Yep.
Well,
people don't actually want to get to know people or get to understand the issues. It's like I was having a conversation on Facebook yesterday. They are about gerrymandering, and one of my friends can't understand why gerrymandering isn't in the news all the time in the United States. Why these things aren't big scandals? It's because people don't understand it. They would be outraged if they really could wrap their brains around what is going on, but they can't understand it, and they don't want to put in the work to try. And so having a celebrity is an easy way. It's easy to decide whether or not you like this person who's running for president, because you know them, because they're in your living room all the time. And unfortunately, what disturbs me the most about this entire situation is this. I think I saw somebody tweet about it too. I think it was Seth MacFarlane. No, about how it's a very dystopian view of it is right out of science fiction. It's right out of the Hunger Games that we have celebrities as presidents. And it's not good. It's just not good. It's not. It lowers the office.
All we need to do is change it so that the president is this distraction away from the real governance.
Yeah. So we have the and then man who really runs the universe.
Stafford can do whatever he wants, and no.
Yeah. but I kind of disagree that there's always been an element of celebrity wrapped up in the presidency. Sure, if you go back to JFK, a Medal of Honor winner, you go back
better on TV.
You had Cripes, even going back to George Washington. There was a pre-existing fame that was brought to the office that helped them get bolster the confidence of the electorate and the people. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, even
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with a celebrity being president. I have a problem with celebrity being the criteria that people use to elect a president. I don't have a problem. I think before the sex scandals, Al Franken was a great senator. I think that Arnie actually did a pretty good job as governor of California. Ronald Reagan was not a terrible president. I mean, in hindsight, it looks a lot worse. But
Iran-Contra looked pretty bad.
Yeah, it did at the time. But he wasn't Trump. Come on. He did some good things.
Again,
but he was he was qualified, was my point. Because he ran the state of California for years before he was qualified to be president.
So what you're saying is you're throwing your hat in. You're throwing your hat in with Jesse Ventura. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. My point is
pink tights.
Whether or not you like what any of these people did, you have to admit they were qualified to do the job.
Until they developed Alzheimer's, and
it had nothing to do with the fact that they were celebrities. Yeah. I'm not opposed to celebrities being president. I am opposed to celebrities running for president because they're celebrities.
Yeah,
and winning the office because they're celebrities. Because
it's not supposed to be a reality show.
Exactly, and it's not going to help to put somebody up against Trump who is another Trump. just because their politics or because they claim their politics are on the other end of the political spectrum. Anyway, sorry. See, you didn't want to open that, did you? Because I am.
E. coli.
I'll shut up now.
And yet, I haven't seen anybody really talking about, supporting her for
I've seen a lot of people talking about it.
I've heard about it, but I don't know. I just have.
We may live in a bubble, or
there's that
an online bubble.
There is that. It was kind of funny. I was listening to the BBC, and there was a reporter, an American reporter in Washington, who was talking about it, and he had an American accent. It's the World Service podcast, and he was like, imagine all the popcorn munching that between debates between Trump and Oprah, and you could just tell that the newsreader was really unimpressed. Oh, that would be a thing, like. I think a lot of people are tired of the shit. I'm not sure that they understand what politicians do, or that politicians actually accumulate something like expertise into working of government. That's an educational failure to some degree.
Well, I don't know. So, I think there is some educational failure, but I think it really is a matter of just the way people think. And it's tribalism. It's entitlement. We're an increasingly more narcissistic society, and we feel more entitled to have exactly what we want. And that's feeding into this. It's feeding into the polarization. And we're not nice to each other anymore. We're not nice to each other. No. And that part of that is that entitlement.
Yeah, I mean, as an example,
we don't respect each other.
I've had wonderful.
We don't compromise.
We talk over each other. No,
yeah,
I know.
We don't compromise. We don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had conversations with people I've just met. We had wonderful conversations talking about all kinds of stuff. But as soon as something controversial comes up in the conversation that I disagree with that person, they shut me down and they don't listen to anything else I have to say anymore.
Yeah. And they don't feel they have
there's
to.
No discussion.
And they don't feel they should or have to. And that's going on at all levels of society. It's going on amongst people in the supermarket. It's going on in our Congress. And that's why Congress can't get shit done unless they cheat each other and swindle each other.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And it's got to swing back. The pendulum's got to swing back in the other direction sometime soon, because it's gotten so bad. Kids are not learning anything in college because they can't, because the environment is not, conducive to that.
That's a broad statement, Barb.
There's research to back it up. Have you read Academically Adrift?
No.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it came out a few years ago. And there was, research about gains in the first 2 years of college, and there a huge portion of college students are not gaining much of anything in the first couple of years. And a lot of that has to do with the way that the atmosphere in higher education, it's not at all schools, obviously, but in general, the culture of higher education has changed. It's shifted. Even what we spend our money on now, it used to be that 2/3 of a university's budget was spent on faculty. And now 2/3 of it is spent on servicing students, on creating environments that make students happy. And a lot of that, it has to do with who has the money, rather than universities having the money to offer students because of student loans being readily available. The money's in the students' hands. They get to choose. So we have these huge apparatus, at
There's a great episode of Adam Ruins Everything on college finance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should watch that.
Covers a lot.
It's insane. Go ahead.
Well, we seem to have wandered
yes
far afield.
A little.
I would have to look at the book to see what they're saying exactly. So what I mean to say is that, in summary, Oprah, no thanks.
And I know you actually didn't
Well
get
said.
to it, but keep in mind all the pseudoscientific stuff
Oh,
she
she's
supported.
kind of gullible.
And there's a respectful insolence post about it, which
Yeah.
goes into it. You'll be surprised to hear quite a lot of detail.
Yeah, it's probably a novel, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe a novel. Yeah, but Jenny McCarthy, Suzanne Summers, Dr. Phil, she crapped out Dr. Oz, The Secret, poor Kim Tinkham, who died of cancer, Deepak Chopra, no one knew who he was before Oprah produced it. John of God, the faith healing, eye scraping fraud
Psychic
from Brazil.
surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was the James Frey incident, the 1,000 little pieces or million little pieces.
Oh yeah.
Or the millions of little lies, and she bit down on that hook, line, and sinker. And that's not the only time. There have been a couple of times where she's kind of endorsed some fraudulent books because she's Oprah.
Yep.
She has some major limitations that haven't been discussed in light of her many achievements. There are some real limitations there. So, do the people at home have any opinions here?
Apparently not.
Mostly they're listening, apparently.
Mhm.
Or not
Miller,
listening.
Nathan Miller says brain slugs 2020.
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
why not?
Although Hypnotoad, also a valid choice.
That's true, Hypnotoad. So a little piece of trivia. Oprah lived in Baltimore for a while. Actually, I think she claims this as her home, as her like where she's from.
Huh.
But also, one more thing. Is it true that in 1999, during an interview, and I'm asking this in a way that I obviously know the answer, during an interview with Donald Trump on Larry King Live, he suggested that Oprah would be his running mate.
Yes.
I saw it on
That's true.
Facebook, so it must be true.
I saw the video of it. So
Yeah. So there you go. If there's any other
Oh, kill me.
ad hominem way of associating those two people, there's one.
It's amazing how quickly we can get worked up about this. How easy it is.
I knew as soon as you
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Yeah. Well, we managed to end it. I'm saying that on purpose. We managed to end it in the first half hour of the show. So
Past tense. Move
Good
on.
us.
moving on.
We are disciplined.
I really want to hear about Eve's goop poop.
Yeah, well, okay. One person who might not be as bad a president as the current thing, but even worse than Oprah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, definitely.
No, okay. It's the new year when people are left blinking blearily at the world after a period of overindulgence in food, alcohol, and sloth. It's the time of year that people make resolutions to lose weight, quit bad habits, exercise, and generally do better. And it's the time of year that Gwyneth Paltrow's idiotic goop exploits those concerns and resolutions by selling people ridiculously overpriced products that do no good but can cause great harm. That's right. Goop is promoting detoxification, colon cleansing, and ass coffee.
Ass coffee.
Yes. Dr. Jen Gunter has posted a takedown of this idiocy on her blog, and that post was picked up by The Guardian. I know this is preaching to the choir, so I'll try to be brief. If your liver and kidneys are working properly, Your body is self-detoxing. No ass coffee required. If your liver and kidneys aren't working properly, see a real doctor in person. Do not put coffee up your ass.
It's a waste of good coffee.
There's no such thing. While the
What?
body and
Do
Yes.
you see her lower third?
I see it.
yeah,
She lives by that.
Ah.
while the body in general is self-detoxing, the colon is self-cleansing. Now, you can think of liver function as a sort of background program that does its job without you consciously noticing it all the time. Good for you, liver, unsung hero of the body. There is, however, inescapable evidence of the colon's self-cleansing process. Appropriately, it rhymes with goop. Now, while ass coffee offers no benefits, Gunter notes that it has caused rectal burns.
What about espresso?
Shut up.
Also
See, what that
causes
thing
rectal
about not
burns.
having civil discourse? Colonics in general.
I usually read puns, but
I was thinking that the espresso would be like steam cleaning your Wahoo. Right?
That also causes burns. So.
Yes.
Colonics in general, Gunter says, can lead to bowel perforation,
By the way.
damage to intestinal bacteria, abdominal pain, vomiting, electrolyte anomalies, and renal failure. So, naturally, in its annual detox and shopping guide, Goop is promoting, if you could bring up the first slide, Implant-O-Rama System at-Home Coffee Enema. What?
Implant?
Yeah, I know.
I am confused.
My God.
Now, quick aside, don't buy medical equipment from any company with Orama in its name.
That is
That's
a
pretty-
good,
that's good
general
advice.
piece of advice. Yes.
Now, as you can see, this ass Keurig is a glass straw
That's correct.
with some tubes. It sells for $135.
Huh.
Oh my God.
The price is the same for the quart size, and that is the quart size, the half gallon or the gallon, which you might need if you're inviting friends over for a goopy ass coffee date.
Gallon size?
God.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yes, in your ass. Now, okay, you've thought about it, and you've decided on mature consideration that you really do want to start 2018.
Are you sure that's not like equine size, the gallon? You know?
Yes.
Could be.
Okay, I'm starting this over again. You've thought about it, you've decided on mature consideration that you really do want to start 2018 off with a perforated bowel and a burnt rectum. Fair enough. But aren't there cheaper ways to do it? Oh, you betcha. There absolutely are. But it turns out those just aren't as good. Plastic enema bags from the drugstore cost up to $20, according to Enema-O-Rama's website.
Is that each, or is that like a 10 count?
I don't know. And that is only $115 less than the Implant-O-Rama. Also, these are the drugstore
Are they
plastic
reusable?
enema bags are full of evil chemicals. Why just
Like E.
removing
coli.
them from the plastic packaging releases toxic fumes, according to Implant-O-Rama, and it just goes down from there. The Implant-O-Rama site, as well as noting that you can use your ass coffee maker for, quote, ozone water enemas or nutrient implants, also links to a video of something called, if you can bring up the next slide, The coffee enema song.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh, how come we don't have audio?
I watched it, listened to it, so you don't have to. This is described on YouTube as a song to promote bladder function. It concludes with the words, coffee enema, stick it where the sun don't shine, and boys and girls, will you feel fine? So, yes.
Not a top
That's
40
some fine rhyming there.
I'm very
Wow.
sad.
Yeah.
I'm just so sad.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Ask Coffee
I'm waiting for the
isn't
story to hit
new.
bottom.
Ah,
Wikipedia says colon cleansing goes back to the ancient Egyptians, although they don't cite a source for it. Presumably, it was introduced by aliens because, as we know, the Egyptians couldn't do anything for themselves.
Aliens like to probe, so.
Yeah, well, it's true. Ask Coffee specifically has been around since 1917, so it's 100 years old. And in the 90s, it was promoted as a type of cancer quackery, which is, a really good lineage there.
Yeah, Gerson therapy.
The Ask Coffee-O-Rama website. To be fair, Goop isn't actually selling it themselves. They're just sort of promoting it with certain disclaimers. But
So they're just hurting
whatever.
people for free now.
Yeah. The website's depression, pain, all sorts of things. But then they also have a disclaimer saying there's no medical evidence for it. So, yeah, whatever.
Hold on. Eve,
Anyway,
I have the coffee enema song if you want to hear it.
no, I've heard it already.
No. We'll link to it.
I intentionally
Well,
did not make people listen to it.
Yes, we'll all listen to it on our own time.
Yes. Interestingly, aside from promoting a bunch of silly and expensive products, such as a $350 rose gold crazy straw, not making that up.
A crazy straw?
Yeah.
It's an anal crazy straw.
No. It's,
Okay, because
it's
okay.
just a regular
Why
crazy
would you
straw.
use rose gold for that? You need silver or something.
It's for detoxing. Goop's detox guide also has a section on food. It begins with a ditch list of foods one should forgo. If you could bring up the next slide, let's see what's number 1 on the list. Oh no! It's caffeine.
Wow.
oh my God.
But wait. Okay.
There's no food
We
left.
We know eggs are okay if you stick them up your vagina and they're made of jade.
And they made it. Yeah, I was going to say that.
And caffeine seems to be okay if you stick it up your ass. Maybe everything on that list is acceptable as long as you don't stuff it in your pie hole. And that includes pie, by the way.
You can't have tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, or potatoes. What's left to eat?
Yeah.
I don't.
So you just have to find another orifice for it. So, okay, you're going to look a little weird walking around with an egg up your poozle, a gallon of coffee, some peppers in your ears, tomato slices on your eyes, all while snorting sugar and mainlining gluten. But
Mainlining
you'll
gluten.
be on your way to the hospital, so it won't really matter.
Mainlining gluten is my Portland hipster band, by the way.
Oh, there you go. And that's that. Moral of the story, just generally don't put coffee up your ass.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm
That's
so freaking depressed. You guys depress the crap out of me.
hilarious.
I enjoyed that story because I don't know.
Oh
I'm
no!
weird.
All I can think about is somebody is spending money on this.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Give me your money instead, okay? I mean,
Here's okay. So
And I
At
won't
least-
make you put coffee up your ass.
Yeah.
How's that?
just
we're gonna take the whole thing and wrap it all the way back around to the beginning of the show and say at least they're not giving it to a political party.
yeah. Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
you feel a little better?
Well, except the Democrats need it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a Democrat, but I think they need money because they don't have the
didn't
wonderful
wanna spark a
corporate
discussion.
donors
That's more of
that,
just a joke,
know.
and we're supposed to just leave it and
I know.
not
Sorry.
get back into the discussion. I'm just saying it.
Just so freaking
So
embarrassed.
Robert Clary on the YouTube chat added this little tidbit. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your butt,
Yep.
which I had to sing because
You had to sing it.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely
you
have
had
to,
to.
yeah.
You
Oh
can't
my
just
God,
say
I
it.
love the
It's
expression.
Is instant coffee, is that all right? Or does it have to be?
I don't care. You can stick grounds up there if you really want to. I would not.
I don't
suggest
like
it.
grounds in my teeth.
Well,
Oh my god.
I don't
I'm
want to ask any
surprised
more
they haven't
questions
come
now.
up like with some sort of detoxing chai tea enema.
I'm sure they have.
Oh, hang on. I was going to go sell something, but okay, whatever.
Mm. Okie dokie. So up next, Barbara.
Well, mine's real short,
this-
but it's
is
the
this one-
same type of shit.
No, really?
It's pretty much the
Caffeinated?
same stuff.
Is it coffee related shit?
No.
What
No.
about civets? Can civets have coffee up their ass?
They have coffee coming out their ass.
Yeah.
Now I was completely tapped out, completely and utterly until about 5 minutes before,
It was the butt
as I'm
coffee.
setting up my computer to join the show. When this ended up in my Facebook feed, gem water. Would you please show the slide, Brian?
Is this like the TV show from the 80s?
This is like water bottles and other types of things that have gems in them.
Oh.
I'd like to point out that Goop was promoting that too.
I'm
Brand,
not surprised.
but that was in their detoxing too.
Well, this one I looked for the explanation, so I have to read you what's on their webpage about it. Okay, so they actually do something incredible. The gemstones enliven your water, restoring its crystal structure to the quality of actual spring water.
Unless it's ice, that makes no fucking sense.
The additional benefits of higher alkalinity and oxygenation content have also been proven by an independent lab. No citation, of course. Infusing water
No, it's
with
independent
gems.
of citation.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Infusing water with gems has been done for millennia, but Ewald has, for millennia, but Ewald has created a modern and beautiful way to do it. I always had a hard time drinking enough water, and upon tasting the difference, it completely changed my life. That, combined with the many traditional naturopathic uses for gemstones and the benefit of reducing the annual carbon footprint created by my plastic water bottles, made the concept of gem water a triple threat in my eye. My immediate thought was, I want the world drinking from this bottle. Of course, because you sell them for $180 a piece. But what I really liked, if you bring up the next slide, were the these little
ooh, that's fancy.
Stirring sticks. You
Only
stick this.
$200?
This is a bottle that you keep your stirring stick in, and your stirring stick then you stir in your water. This one is emeralds. Emeralds were considered a symbol of eternal life in ancient Egypt. There's that ancient Egypt again. We love this gem water blend to help create more of everything that is vital in your life.
Just make sure to keep your stir and your jade eggs separate.
That's true.
Yeah, because that looks sharp.
Different jade.
Yeah, and also you don't really want to put your jade egg in your drinking water.
At least not after you've used it. In the natural healing arts, this blend of emerald and clear quartz is thought to protect the body, help it recover from infectious illness, treat disorders of the heart, and create overall harmony in the body.
Ooh, harmony.
Yeah. So I'm sure that each one of their gems has a different purpose, but
Gosh.
No, it's all the same purpose
Somebody-
to rip you off.
yes, somebody is spending money, good money, on that.
And that person's name is Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brian died a little inside.
Yeah. I'm crying so much. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, the raw water thing was like all over the news a couple weeks ago, and that was pretty darn scary. I mean, there's a reason why we put chemicals in water, guys, because it can kill you and make you sick.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's
Yeah, this is
not
slightly
new. It's like
slightly less dumb than raw water.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dumb enough. Eve.
Jesse doesn't. Like
I know, but it's not like there's raw sewage in it. Probably.
Well,
It's slightly less dangerous. That's all.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to putting it.
Well,
they don't
matter.
tell you to drink any particular kind of water. You supposedly can turn any water into.
So they were saying
magic
that
gem water.
that the raw water is alive because of some of the bacteria that are living in it, but it's now we're hearing that water that has been disinfected with magic rocks is better for you. I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm just going to join a cult and live on an ashram.
Alrighty.
You guys took that news well.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I honestly don't know what to say. I mean, I'll join you probably, so I don't blame you one bit.
I was too busy reading funny tweets like this one from Nathan Miller.
He's joining an ashram.
Yeah, not having coffee grounds in my teeth sounds tempting, but I'm still not sure it's a fair trade.
Ooh, that's sophisticated, is what that is.
Yeah.
That is a terrible pun that I love so dearly.
That was good.
Any other comments out on the with
Hi, Amanda.
stuff? Hi, Amanda.
Just say
Yes, I want to say hi too. Hi, Amanda. I've got okay. Let me do this because I haven't done a thing in a while, and look, there's the
And we can't end on that. So
I know we can't.
Yeah.
So
Hang on a second. Alexa, it's your favorite segment.
I don't have an opinion on that.
Of course she doesn't. Of course.
What good is she at?
I know. Well, she's also standing behind me watching the whole thing. So, so I've got a little video, and unfortunately, I tried to find some details on this, and the video has been on the internet for less than a week. There's two organizations, the Korean organizations involved. One is a company that sells electronics and various products that you could use for building robots, and the other one is like a think tank or an engineering group. And everything I could find that was detail about this is in Korean or in a language that I can't read. But I think the video is cool, and I was like, wow. So it reminds me of the one I talked about several months back, the one that we talked about on Captain Disillusionment's show. But this is smaller, and it's also just as cool. So I'm going to play the video, and this I want to ride this thing. Oh, let me start the video over. It started from the middle. Let's go. Ooh, hey, there's my desktop. Look at that. Where did it go? There it is. Is it playing? It's playing. So see the guy walking?
That's cool.
So it's very similar to the bigger one that we saw that the other company was trying to sell, and it does the standard, the walking methodology where the feet are continuously moving or they're stationary. It's not a fluid dynamic walking technique. It's very, very canned. And the arms there are a number of different arms nowadays that you can control in real time like that, where you have a remote control that you move your hands. and it makes the arms kind of mimic that behavior. It's not closed loop. It's not very predictable. It doesn't have the fine motor control that human arms do, but it is very dynamically looking and kind of cool to see.
And it can give you the finger.
And it can, apparently. And I want to ride one. So I need to find out more information about this. I'm going to link to the video and a link to the companies.
And you have to link to the video of you riding one. That's the most important thing.
When it happens, I will shout to the world on the top of a mountain, watch my damn video, people.
Or being assimilated by Cybermen.
I don't know if I could be able to shout after that.
True.
But
True.
anyway, so that's cool. That's cool. And
what are the
that's all I have.
practical applications of this stupid thing?
It looks really fun.
It would be really great for parades.
You know, there was another story that I was looking into.
Both for being in them and also being able to see. Excuse me.
Good point.
Exactly. There was another Korean story about them using robots to help carry the torch for the Olympics, and that was another one I had a hard time researching. So that may come back around if that's a real thing, because that's cool, to use the robots to help carry the torch, because
that's very cool.
I mean, it's symbolic of the robots eventually killing us all and taking over. So
that's the start of it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Aren't the robots protesting that they still aren't allowed to participate in the Olympics?
They have their own Olympics.
As competitors?
Yeah. But they have their own, I mean, yes.
They're marginalized, though.
Yes, they're ghettoized. Yeah.
It's speciesist. To have them separated in their own competition. But, us humans are insecure about our inability to run as fast or break things with our heads. And we're not kill bots. Anyway, all that stuff. So
speak for yourself.
So that makes me feel a little bit better. I wish I had more details on that, but still, it's a very cool video, and I hope to ride one someday. So wrapping up, Amanda says, so everyone just heard a cat trying to throw in their opinion, right? And I'm like, yes.
That was Jesse.
His name is Jesse.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah?
I didn't hear
anything. No. Oh, no.
It's good messing with her. So wrapping up, we have any announcements? I mean, it's new year. There's not a whole lot going on yet in the world. But, I mean, well, in the world, yes. But in our world, no?
Not a damn thing.
So we will let you know when things start to ramp up for 2018. Book time. Every guys got book stuff?
I will grab one.
From the reaction, it sounds to me like some people might have forgotten about book time.
I will just grab one off my desk, off my shelf.
Who would like to go first?
And I will open it to any page.
Any page?
I'll go first.
Go you.
Experience is at the core of human existence. As social creatures, we share our experiences with others. Effective stories are extremely convincing and emotional. The act of sharing with others not only spreads information, but strengthens the memory and meaning of the experience for ourselves. In turn, meaning and experiences from our lives color our interpretation and memories of events we have witnessed.
Next? Who's next?
Okay.
Bob.
The Legend of Knockmany. What Irish woman or man or child has not heard of our renowned Hibernian Hercules, the great and glorious Finn McCool? Not one from Cape Clear to the Giant's Causeway, nor from that back again to Cape Clear. And, by the way, speaking of the Giant's Causeway, brings me at once to the beginning of my story. Thank God it was taking a while.
Barbara, go.
The virgin rat problem. Several researchers intend to perform the following experiment. They will inject blood from a mother rat into a virgin rat immediately after the mother rat has given birth. After the injection, the virgin rat will be placed in a cage with newly born baby rats, and after the removal of the actual mother. The possible outcomes were A, the virgin rat exhibited maternal behavior, or B, the virgin rat failed to exhibit maternal behavior.
C, the
Interesting.
virgin rat
Very-
ate the baby rats.
Interesting yet very mad science-y. I like it. Conway now was in a remarkably buoyant mood, considering she was about to experience a resounding, if not cataclysmic, defeat. DT would lose the election. Of this she was sure. But he would quite possibly hold the defeat to under 6 points. That was a substantial victory. As for the looming defeat itself, she shrugged it off. It was Previous's fault, not hers. What's your book, Eve?
It's called Scientifical Americans, The Culture of Amateur Paranormal Researchers by someone called Sharon A.
Awesome.
Hill. And I can say, just, and also it
She
seems to have Tim
sounds-
Farley on the cover. Someone very Tim
Yeah.
Farley like. A completely unbiased opinion. It seems pretty
I've
solid
never
work
heard
here.
her Tim Farley.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't have my copy yet. I need to get one. Bob, what's yours?
Mine's W.B. Yeats's Fairy Tales of Ireland.
Ireland. Fairy Tales of Ireland.
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 Yeah, that's a diphthong.
Okay. Awesome. Barbara?
Those are
Mine's a cognitive psychology textbook.
Yeah.
Complex Cognition
So were they
by
just
Sternberg and Benziv.
Are they trying to
What?
figure out if there's things in the blood that influence?
No. It's a
trying to-
psychological experiment. The participants were given that, and then they were asked in two different conditions to guess what the outcome would be, and it was about hindsight bias, where
so that wasn't
people
the
who were
actual
asked-
experiment.
no,
That was
it's a thought experiment. And you were asked to what you think the outcome will be, and in the hindsight bias condition, of course, when people weighted the actual outcome as higher probability because they already knew it was the outcome. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what book I was reading from, and to be honest, I haven't actually started reading this yet. I'm going to starting tomorrow, and of course, lots and lots of people are reading this right now. It's the Fire and Fury. Michael Wolff book that just came out like a week early because of things.
Fuck
and
you,
stuff.
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
you must
believe that's the
report
reason.
on whether it is worth actually reading.
I feel like I may not finish it, depending on if it's hard to get through because of pain and suffering, or it's everything I already know. Because I've been paying attention for a year. But I'll let you know. I'll let everybody know.
Okay.
So there you go. I think that's everything.
Did anyone get the film? They should have.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Nathan Miller got it pretty easily because it's a pretty easy one. It's this is the Poseidon Adventure from 1972 with Ernest Borgnine and the other
Gene
guy.
Hackman.
Everyone else.
Gene Hackman.
Everyone who happened to be alive that
Pretty
year.
much. There was like everyone in this.
Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah. Shelley Winters is in it, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, a bunch of people are going, "Who the hell is Shelley Winters?"
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't know.
Yeah.
But a little anecdote. This was the movie I discussed with Ernest Borgnine the one time I met him in
very
Dragon Con, like 4 years ago now, probably. Anyway, the year before he died, which is kind of cool that I finally got to meet him. There's so many people that
Much
just
better
don't
than doing
have
it
a
after
chance
he
to
died.
meet. Anyway, go ahead. I guess that's everything and stuff. Thank you all for watching. I'm putting up the logo. I'm starting the music. And everyone, I know the windows are going to dance, but I read the boring stuff. Brutal Skeptics is in the production of whatsthetime.net, Skeptic Humanities, myself, ICBS Everywhere, and Delta News. Our logo was designed by Sarah May at SarahMay.com, and our theme music is by Lucius and Music.